Hi guys, welcome to Raftel TCG. My name's Connor, and I'm here to showcase my Rush Zoro deck. I took first place at my locals this weekend, and I was really impressed with how the deck worked. So yeah, let's get into the deck. First and foremost, we have 10 of the I'm going to be the Pirate King Luffy Dawn. It does nothing different than regular Dawn, but it's really nice to have just as a memento, especially from the first set. I really liked it. But actually into the deck, we got 4 Namis to help us search out what we want for our deck. You know, whatever situation comes about, this gets us basically any card in our deck. And then we have 4 Tony Choppers to help us block those big boys, especially later game. You don't want to be taking too many risk with this deck, but it's just something that you need, especially since this deck really hinders itself later in the game. You want to get it done and out at the beginning. But to help us with those build-ups, we're running 2 of this Nami, which her ability just lets you add a Rested Dawn to your leader or any character, which is really nice, especially when you're playing Zoro, since his effect is to add 1,000 to all of your characters when he's got 1 Dawn attached to him. Next, we have Otama. I think that there's not a deck that is not running 4 of her, just because she does lower 2k, and 2k is a lot to build back up from. Next, we're running 2 Sanji, just because 2k counter is really good, and plus sometimes when you want to go for life, being able to take 1 life from yourself and be able to crash into them for however much is always good. Puts a lot of pressure on the opponent. Next, we have 4 2k counter Brooks, which is also nice to have on your board when you're trying to push and they're down to almost no life. This lets you add 2 of the Rested Dawn, and it lets you set up for next play too, because he's already 3k. So you just need to add 1 Dawn to him to make him 5k with your Rush Zoro deck. Next, we have 2 of the 2-drop Luffy. I'm seeing a lot of decks cut this, but I still like him just because he does have the ability to not get KO'd by your opponent's strikers, which is one of the largest in the game. And the fact that he adds 2 Rested Dawns himself just helps you push through a lot of extra stuff. Next up is our 3 costs. So we're starting off with 3 Nico Robins. Being able to pop most of those small defenders early on just really helps you set the pace for the game the way that you want it. And it kind of takes your opponent away from putting out those small blockers, making them commit to bigger blockers, to which your guys are already able to swing over for the most part. Next is the Heart and Soul of the deck. 4 Rono Zoros. Being a 3-drop 5k is just unbeatable in the game. And him having Rush also, so you just rest 3, throw him down, and he's either 5 or 6k depending on if you have that extra Dawn. Next, we have 2 Uda, which just helps you recover and get those. She can get anything in this pile we've been over so far. Helps you push through those resources and really grind it out. Even though this deck doesn't want to grind out, it is nice to have, especially since she's a 4-cost 4k. The next turn she probably will be 5k, and you'll be able to swing for lethal. Next we have 1 Brooks. Brooks is a really interesting card because to have his ability, he already has 1 Dawn, boosting him up to 6. And then with your Rush Zoro, you boost him up to 7, which is the magic number for hitting for damage, because you're at least taking 2 cards from their hand, a blocker. Like, it's just really nice. And the fact that he lowers the attack of other characters, so if they have a big blocker, you just on attack lower those characters and then are able to beat over them, at least clearing their board. Next we have 4 5-drop Luffy, which is really nice to have. The fact that he can't be blocked and the fact that he has Rush just really makes him unparalleled, and the fact that he is almost always going to be 7 with your leader really makes this deck formidable. And finally, for the characters, we have 1 Shanks as an honorary Straw Hat in this deck. Shanks just being able to rush is really good, and also being 10k means that you're beating over most things in the game, especially since he's 9. You can still attach 1 to your Rono Zoro and make him 11, along with whatever else you've had set up. Getting into the events, we are running 4 of the in 2 years, which is really nice because this is just the same as Nami. It just doesn't put a body on board, and it can only add the characters. But it does activate as a trigger, so if you hit this in life, it's really good because you can just instantly use it, not have to waste any resources, and you have the card that you need for the crackback. Next, we have 2 Diablo Jambe, just because this deck does need to get around those blockers, like we've mentioned, and this just being 1 cost to get around any of the blockers in the game is really nice. Next, for a little bit of a defensive move, we're running 2 Guard Point, just because it is a 1 cost, gets you up to 3k. Radical Beam gets you up to 2k and sometimes 4k, but this is just more consistent. And we're also running Red Hawk, just because Red Hawk lets you take care of their blocker if they have one on board, or something small they haven't added Dawn to. Just it causes your opponent to play differently because they don't want to lose that resource. And finally, for the events, we're running 3 Jet Pistol. Being able to KO anything that's 6 or less is really nice, because most of the time 6 or less is going to cost them more than you. This is mainly used with the Otama, so 5 costs to take care of, such as that the green Eustace Captain Kidd, who's an 8k. 8 cost, basically 9 because you have to have 1 attached to him. Really makes it a lot easier to get through those boards. And finally, just to showcase you what I got out of the winter packs, I got the Kaido off of entry. I really like this artwork. I think it's phenomenal. I don't know how useful the card is, but it does seem like it has some uses, especially in the blue-purple decks. But for winter, I won the 3-drop Monkey D. Luffy, who is actually a good card, being a 2k counter and being able to boost himself up basically to 7k is just phenomenal. It lets you put pressure early, and also lets you keep cards in hand, just because he puts pressure on the opponent also. And that's it for my deck. If you like this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, and be looking out for more decks coming soon. We have a lot of great content planned, and hope that you enjoy it. Thank you so much.